Hello and welcome back to SpeedyNet, where we are looking at the ever so empty yet also full station of Woodwood Clay Pit. Yes, this is our sawmill who is producing a lot of timber. But, where we last left off, we were still waiting for a certain route to be finished. Now, I'll answer the question whether or not it has finished in a moment, but I'll quickly bring you up to speed with what I've been doing. Basically, I just did a minor, quick, short, fast balancing pass over the network. You know, went through the station list to see where lots of cargoes was bulking up, and I adjusted capacities when needed. Obviously, you know, our passengers needed a lot of love, because like this over here, you know, this, I believe that this dock wasn't previously this occupied, but another one was, and we upgraded the capacity, and so the bulk from, I don't know if it was this one, but say it was this dock, you know, the bulk of this dock then moved to this one because I upgraded the capacity, but then from here on, there was nowhere for them to move. So yeah, you know, we'll probably have to do this a few more times, but with, you know, me adjusting the capacities, something cool has happened. It is over here between Trarfingborn, whatever. Is it Yeah, it is Trarfingborn. Between Trarfingborn and Caham, we now have a ship, but not any ship. Ta-da! Look at this, we have a freaking majestic steamer with sails. It's quite an odd combination, I'll have to admit. But I'm sure it existed in history, and look at this, man. Look at this long thing over here. And look at it making us a profit. Yes, yes, and look at it. It is carrying the actual freaking passengers. I don't know if this one will stay profitable, but, you know, the thing is that, yeah, see? This is the thing. There's loads of passengers that need to go from one side to the other. So, yeah, we can have this in service, and even though the distance isn't really that great, you know, we can have it in service, and it can still be profitable. And in fact, with that hotel, we can probably keep it in service quite a bit longer. You know what? Let me quickly set up a station over here. Oops. For this hotel, so that we can... No, the other one, please. Game. I wanted this to be removed. And then I also need that to be gone. Come on. Be gone. There we go. Right, let's put it the right way this time, right? So that we can have a lot more passengers here. Let me see. So we'll quickly set this up. Right, there we go. So now we should be... Whoa, in fact, you know what? We'll add another one, because 90 is quite a lot. And we will also timetable this, so that it will, you know, it will have a schedule. I like that, you know, timetabling stuff for passengers. It makes it feel like the real world. No, but anyway, like I was saying, you know, we have this big ocean liner, it looks like, and, you know, we have... Wait, what? Your front disappeared. I can tell you one thing, that doesn't sail that easy, and, you know, running over other boats also doesn't increase your longevity. Right then, so that's what I did. However, I also did take a look at the network, you know, and to see if there were any issues with traffic. Now, a few stations are at their max capacity. This is one of them, though this one will be a little bit tricky to increase, but is in need of an increase in capacity if we do increase any further trains, and that will probably happen at some point because passengers, you know, will only become more and more. Another point where lots of traffic was over here. See, it's all moving, not really fast, but it's moving, it's not jammed, but add in like 5 more trains and it will become jammed. Another point where we kind of had the same issue is over here, you know. The thing is though, look, see, the other way right now there are no trains. They're all moving into this direction. However, once all of them have visited the station, they will all be moving this way. So it goes in waves, you know. So I'm kind of tempted to leave it as is, though we might need to upgrade this to 3-lane even, but I don't know really, you know. The thing is with the waves, it's always a traffic jam, but it always moves around the tracks, you know, and it's never really, you know, with lots of trains waiting. Another place where we had this was, where was it now? Yeah, over here, this station as well, you know. As you can see, there's always a few trains waiting, not many, but same over here. This is also a very busy line. It's all moving, you know, and it's all on the border of, you know, should we do something about it, should we not? However, there is, wait, that's not the one, is it now? Yeah, no, that's not the one. This one over here, yeah. This station does have categoric traffic jams. There's always trains waiting on both sides, you know, to an extent that, well, right now we just happen to pick an easy, you know, an easy moment, you know, where there's not a lot of traffic, a quiet moment, that's the word I was looking for. But this needs to be upgraded. The station capacity in particular, not so much the tracks. So, you know what, we'll get right to that. Right, I think we got this upgraded. Now, Flundingworth isn't liking us as much, but what I do not see is a lot of waiting trains over here. However, it is kind of a tight pickle with a junction like right at the station entrance. Oh, and this road over here, requiring all these bridges. Yeah, it doesn't make it that much easier to be exactly, but we did it. Now, this was all, in light of the campaign to, well, how shall I put it? Why are you not picking these tracks over here? Oh, because they were occupied, actually. Right, that makes sense, actually. Also, have we made these too short? These station tracks, what we could do is lengthen these up. I'm actually going to do that. Alright, we're not finished with it, but we are soon to be finished with it. Right, now the reason for this is that we have passenger trains that seem to extend just beyond the station and as a result have a longer loading time. With this, I hope they will prefer to choose the station lane that has the correct length for them, and thus the loading times will be drastically reduced. So, well, I hope at least that that's the case. In any way, now that we have addressed this station, and by the way, if you think this is much, this was at like 2,700, so it's decreasing. Right, there was also another area that needed some love, and that is over here. Right here, near Hinningville. Yes, Hinningville is indeed in need of a rework. Now, at the moment, you don't really see it. Maybe it isn't as needed then. The thing is, though, you know, most of the times, pretty much all of the times, there's trains waiting over here. And I kind of know why that is. Because of a way too cramped station. Well, actually, this station itself, I mean, that's fine, you know, with only 4 trains going to it, you know, we don't need to up the capacity, but there's a lot of trains passing through here, and I think what we need over here is some proper bypass tracks, but as one can see, that's easier said than done. So how do we go about making some good bypass tracks? Well, I do have a plan, but we do need to move things over a little bit, but that's nothing beneath us, so let us reconstruct this area and make 2 bypass tracks to eliminate any future problems. Right, that should prevent any future problems from happening, but man, this is tight, this is a mess, really, you know, all them bridges. Well, actually, it does have a charm to it, you know, all the tunnels and bridges, but yeah, this is a mess. I admit, it's not a beauty prize winner, but hey, it's functional, right? So, well then, when I started this video I said that there was a certain route that had finished, not in the sense of like it will never run before, but over here in Woodwood Clay Pit we have a route, for the longest route we have for this very one supply train. Now ages ago, millennia ago, we actually timetabled this to see how long it would take, and guess what? After God knows how many, well I think actually we will know how many time it took. It has took 45,776 ticks to complete. We are now going to calculate what that implies when it comes to trains that we need and how long it actually took to finish this. So 74 ticks is a day. This, oh man, this took almost 2 years to complete. Right, now we need it to be delivered within 3 months, so that's like 90 days, which means that we need at least 7 trains, with this one included. Right, well, I guess all we have to do then is clone it 6 times, huh? I mean, it seems so simple, but I'm sure there's a catch to it. I wonder what will happen if we release them all, because they're timetabled. They are, right? Let me just check this. Yeah, no, they are timetabled, alright. I don't know, because they're timetabled, I don't know if they will all start waiting at one station, so we're going to release these incrementally. Now, oh, that's a coincidence, you actually returned right here to the station. Now, I don't know, if they, because they're timetabled, they need to wait at the station for a long time. That's gonna occupy a station lane, and that can be a problem. So therefore I'm not releasing them all at once, because that would mean that we would have 7 trains waiting at one station, completely blocking it and thus making the whole system crash. Yeah, look, see, you are already waiting over here. Oh no, actually, you're not. Don't know why. It's probably because there was a train departing. I don't know how this timetabling mechanic will work exactly then. If it's going to make this train wait over here, or... Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it's gonna make this train wait. Alright, well fine, you know, next video we'll get back and we'll release another 2, and this should slowly but surely get settled, and we should start seeing a hefty amount in increase in wood production. Right, okay, that's all very good. Now, there is an issue, you know, another thing that I discovered, and that's over here with our lovely machine shop. Not so lovely, actually. I thought that perhaps if we managed to deliver oil, this would become true. Well, guess what? It doesn't. We deliver... Actually, it's petrol, but still, we deliver petrol to this freaking machine shop, and it still does not make it with a 1-on-1 ratio. Look, a full metal train like this has 117 tons of metal. Trust me that these engineering supplies... In fact, they're not even going up. Oh look, wow, 101. But there was already 64. That means that it's more like a 3-to-8 ratio rather than an 8-to-8 ratio, right? Or a 1-on-1 ratio. So, yeah, something's broken. It's not working as it should. But, well, what can you do, right, really? It's not much at the moment. Also, that happened, you know, sneaky intervention of you. Now you do need to refit, don't you? No. Well, I don't know, I already lost our trains over there. Maybe Yeah, you need to go to this deposit, but because you sneak loaded everything, yeah, you know, that kind of meant that you lost all your engineering supplies, which is a shame. So because of that, you know, we still do not have loads of engineering supplies, and because of that, our well, some of them do go gung-ho quadruple. Most of them are double though, and yeah, most of them are just double. But that's, you know, on the ones that are close. If we take a look at these, you know, the further away ones, just 90. You have been double, so they do get doubled occasionally. But as you can see over here, clearly, you know, it's not functioning like I had envisioned because of a lie in the description. So basically, this whole network, you know, of us delivering metal and then cranking up the production to crazy heights, all because of the assumption that this would actually be true, it's not gonna work. So this whole network, you know, this whole station here didn't need to be the size as it is. Now, well, you know, this, now the thing is, you know, we have so many iron ore mines, there's no way we can ever get them all up to gung-ho quadruple. Not even if we, you know, ship in some outside engineering supplies. It's not like we have a surplus anywhere. However, the oil wells are a different story though. What we could do, and this is what I'm considering to do, what we could do is just crank up the oil wells. Now, granted, we do not have the oil wells set up to receive any engineering supplies yet, but I believe that if we do it with a completely separate system, so, and well, this is what we need to look at in a moment, but my plan is to set up a complete separate production line for engineering supplies and ship that to the oil wells. The problem with that is though that the oil wells are very far ahead. So there's two, or far away from each other. So there's two options that we have here. Or we find a solid source for engineering supplies, and I have been considering a few, and then try and set that up somewhere here in the central area, or, but this really depends on what's available in the vicinity, we set up a local engineering supply thing for each of the cluster of oil wells. I don't know if that's possible though, so we'll have to take a look at that. You know, look, map. Again, this time proper. So let us take a look at the map and let's see what we have when it comes to industries. Now, we don't have any aluminium plants. So that's off the table. We also don't have any bauxite mines, so that's also off the table. Now, we do have scrapyards, I believe. Scrapyard? Scrapyard! Yes. We have one over there. We also have two over here, close to the oil. Also, I'm gonna put those on as well, so I at least know where they are. Yeah, look at that, see? There's one scrapyard for these two, it's not a lot. There's one for these two. It is in the vicinity. Look, see, this is what I was hoping. Now, I'm not entirely sure on how the, scrapyard chain works, so let me quickly fresh up my memory. This goes to a aluminium plant or a steel mill. It doesn't go anywhere else. And the steel mill makes metal, and the metal, yeah, right. So what we need is we need to look up where them steel mills are then. Oh. Oh. Well, actually, oh, this is a beauty. This one is going to work, and this is a most productive oil well. This one though. Well, Never say never. I mean, this one's a given. It's gonna work. How's the distance over here? Are we talking about bridgeable? Ooh, not so long. What we could do is ferry it over by boat. It's not that it's busy here or anything. I mean, look at all my ships. Our ships, in fact. The Speedy Net ships. Yeah, I love it. We're gonna add a few more ships here. Yeah, we're gonna ship over the metal. Then though, what we need is a machine shop or a smithy forge. Now, the smithy forge, where is it? On there. I mean, I need to keep my mouse on it. Well, it is near over these oil wells, so we could technically get it produced quite close. Also, is this passable? Because if it is, no. But we could make a canal over here and we could ferry all the metal over by boat. Or we could not. I mean, the distance is huge and we would have a very infrequent supply of metal. So, no, that's not an option. When there's the machine shop. Man, all these tiny characters. Oh, machine shop is definitely a good option over here. This is doable. Also, over here, machine shop. Smithy forge. We actually do need to use the machine shop because there is no other option. Okay. And oh, look at that. Is that a machine shop? You gotta be. No, but that's relatively close. And there's actually a smithy forge here, ready accessible in the freaking. Hey, that's nice. An added. Wait, what? You also have a 1-on-1 ratio? No way. That's not true. That can't be true. Right, well this is actually interesting. If that's the case, alright, let me investigate. I know, back in the old day, where it all started, we used a smithy forge over here. And of course you'll see no metal trains are coming. How much do you produce? 240. How much do you produce? 582. It just isn't true. It isn't. They're lying. Alright. Ah well. So yeah, the localized cranking up of oil production. That is a thing. That's gonna happen. We're gonna use scrap for it. Wow. Okay. So if that's a thing, huh? Using scrap. Let me just quickly take a look at the chain once again. A metal workshop or a metal fabrication plant? I mean, what do you make? Building materials. Yeah, okay, so we don't need that. Wait. Right, hold on. Okay, yeah, the steel mill. So that's not gonna happen. Then the metal workshop. You make goods and manufacturing supplies. Right, so we are really, yeah. This is the only way, basically. Okay then, so that's very interesting. I mean, the other good part is that we have most of the tracks already lying about. In fact, we could practically ferry this over by road. Heh. Interesting. Okay, so what we need to do... Alright, let's put up a plan over here. What we need is the scrapyard from over here, which involves pissing off this town. So we need to hook these two up in order to keep them happy. Then over here we're gonna have the same issue with these, so we might as well hook these three up. You know, by road. well, actually by road I say that. What we could also do is, because we're gonna have a road connect or a train connection over here, what we could do is make one station over here and add passengers at the same time. However, ferrying all the scrap over by road, yeah, the distance is doable. We're gonna do that. So, and then if we have a station like right over here, then, oh wow, look at that hotel, by the way. Wow, look at that. Look at that hotel, by the way. Wow. Why are we not using that? Let me quickly address that before we continue with our localized resource plan, right? Right, and done. Yeah, okay, so the plan is to first hook up all these towns. I mean, we might as well grab this town along with the station that we're gonna use for the scrapyard. Yeah, I guess we don't really have any other alternative, really. Alright. Let us build the first localized resource setup, shall we? Alrighty, I think that we got everything up and running over here now, don't we? What I am wondering though is if 2 of these trucks is actually already overkill for this scrapyard. I'm not entirely sure, but it could be. Oh wow, wait, hold on a second. Production steps up if 2 or more cargoes are delivered within a month of each other. I don't think that we can get any coal or iron ore here relatively soon. We could take a look at the map, you know, perhaps we can get a lone coal mine. Yeah, forget that. Alright, so it's just the scrap that we produce over here. Oh man. Now, I do hope that if we turn this all into engineering supplies, it will actually be enough for us to raise up the production of the oil well. That's something that I hadn't considered, you know, that our production might suffer too much from all the ratios that we might not be able to make the 81, I think it is. Where is it? Well, 84 in fact, you know, to make the 84 crates in 3 months. Then again, 3 months is quite a while, so perhaps we do have the time. I don't know really, we'll have to see. But I do think that this looks rather nice, you know, station looks fancy and we got everything set up, you know, passengers, it's all being done, it's all being ferried over to places where they belong. Oh, look at that, we even... oh, yeah, look at that, see, it's even growing this town. It is wow. I mean, to me that is a surprise. Flendingham, on the other hand, needs more passengers. Well, it does have that station. How is, Pledborough? Yeah, Pledborough it is. How's Pledborough doing? Let me see. You need a lot more. You're the bigger town as well, so... yeah, well, perhaps that will equal out once this town has grown a little bit, you know, but for now I think we've done pretty okay, you know, we got a plan, and one thing, you know, before we leave that I do want to know, how many of these... I don't know, you know, the thing is, we currently, we are almost in 1909. As far as I remember, but this is not, I could be wrong on this, but as far as I remember, 1909 we get petrol stations. Granted, we use it already, you know, in our vehicles and whatnot, and it was invented long before that, but hey, that doesn't matter. Petrol, I believe, comes in 1909, and with that, a whole lot of new options and possibilities. And on that bombshell, I'd like to say, join me next time when we play more OpenTTD.